The 2020 iPhone SE is without a doubt the most value for money iPhone Apple has ever created. Hey guys, it's Sagar and I have had this phone for over a year, so let us see how it has fared so far and whether or not you should consider getting it in 2021. Or rather, who should actually consider getting it in 2021. There are already reports that the next version of iPhone SE might arrive sometime in the middle of 2022. So should you wait for it or should you pull the trigger and get the 2020 iPhone SE? Well, could you really wait one whole year to buy your next phone? And at launch, that one will definitely cost more than what the 2020 iPhone SE does right now. So are you willing to shell out the extra cash? If the answer to both these questions is yes, then okay, wait out. But if you can't wait that long, then continue watching this video and see if this 2020 iPhone SE fits your needs and lifestyle. This phone came in at 42,500 rupees and it has seen a few price cuts since then. Now you can purchase it for as low as 33,000 rupees and even lower if you get it with some of the offers. At this price, you get a very compact phone, premium build quality with IP67 dust and water resistance, 4.7-inch IPS LCD screen, 64GB of internal storage, and A13 Bionic flagship processor of the time. You can spec it all the way up to 256GB of internal storage, which is frankly more storage than anyone would ever need, and it will cost you 48,000 rupees, which is still less than what you would pay for the base variant of the iPhone 11 and way less than what you would pay for the iPhone 12 mini. Many people will try and argue in the comments that you can get a much better Android phone at this price, but I'm not really going to get into that argument in this video, because then this video will take a completely different turn and become an endless comparison video. And B, someone who is looking to get this 2020 iPhone SE knows what they want and what the other offerings are at this price point, but they are still considering this phone because they are more comfortable sticking with Apple, or maybe they are too deep into Apple's ecosystem. So this video is here to help them decide whether or not they should get the iPhone SE 2020. Now the first thing that might attract new buyers towards this phone is its price. It is the cheapest iPhone right now, which still comes with respectably new specs. Other equally motivating factor pulling people towards this phone is its size. There are many people who like smaller iPhones and who feel that the iPhone 10, 10s, 10R and the iPhone 11 was way too big for them. There are also some who prefer home button and Touch ID over face unlock. And because of that, they were holding on to their iPhone 6, 7 or 8. Apple was aware of this, and for those users, they launched this 2020 iPhone SE. Other than this centered Apple logo, this phone gets the exact same design as the iPhone 8 from 2017, which means aluminium frame sandwiched by the glass at the front and back, and yes, sadly, it also means that we get huge bezels at the top and bottom. And maybe that is one of the reasons Apple was able to price this phone lower. I mean, it was launched at a starting price of 42,500 rupees, which is not exactly less, but at least it did not start at 64,000 like the iPhone 8 did, and mind you, this iPhone SE is much more powerful than the iPhone 8. Apple did not have to spend a ton of money on R&D, sourcing new components, or did not even have to design the phone from ground up, which might have helped them to price this phone a bit lower than what iPhones usually do. I think Apple quickly realized that this phone can do a lot better if they price it even lower, so this phone has seen quite a few price cuts in the last year. Right now, you can get it for around 33,000 rupees. You can find it for even cheaper at some of the offline stores, and Flipkart was even selling it at 26,000 rupees in one of their sales, which, if you think about what this phone offers, is a bonkers price for it. The design might not be new, but the build quality is just as good as any of the other flagship iPhones. It comes in black, white and red colors, gets the same aluminium 7000 series frame as the other higher priced iPhones, gets a glass back and front, comes with IP67 water and dust resistance rating, wireless charging, it has it all. Coming back to the size for a second. Even after using this phone for a year, it is hard to get over the fact that how good this compact form factor feels in your hand. It even weighs under 150 grams and this weight is very evenly spread out across the phone. Now I am coming from using iPhone 12 and 12 Pro Max, so I am a bit amazed with the size and weight of this phone. Or someone who is coming from an Android phone and looking at this as their entry into Apple's ecosystem might also be amazed at it. But someone who has been using the iPhone 8, 7, 6s or even the 6 and is upgrading to this will just feel at home. Overall, the design of this phone is very durable. I have a tempered glass screen protector on it, but other than that, I have been using it without a case and we don't see any major scratches or dents on the frame or back of this phone. I have also spilled some water on it couple of times, and thanks to the IP67 rating, it survived without any issues. The size of this display is small and most people look at it as a downside. But then, this phone is not targeted towards those people. It is targeted towards people who actually prefer a smaller display, and yes, there are many people who do. Smaller display makes it easier for you to reach all four corners with a single hand while keeping overall size of the phone compact and the weight down. I don't mind that the size of this display is small, but I feel that the resolution is a bit on the lower side. It is still a retina display, so you won't be able to distinguish between each individual pixels while viewing it from an arm's distance. But I am a pixel peeper, and after having used it for a long time, there are certain cases where you notice the pixels, like while reading a lot of text or while zooming in on the images that you took. Now I noticed it sometimes, that doesn't mean everyone will, and the display on this phone is so good that most people won't even realize that it is not a Full HD screen. While watching videos, you will not notice these pixels. Quality of the screen is really good, color reproduction is excellent, viewing angles are really good, and at 625 nits of peak brightness, it can get very bright. Actually, much brighter than most of the recent phones in this price range, so you should not have any issues using it outside. There is no 3.5mm headphone jack. Apple has left it out for good on their smartphones. But you do get stereo speakers, which is always good to have. The output from these speakers is definitely impressive for a phone of this size, but the overall quality is nothing out of the ordinary. It doesn't get as loud or as deep as the speakers on the iPhone 11 or even the iPhone 12 mini, which is smaller than this phone. You can have a much better media viewing experience by using Lightning or Bluetooth earphones with this phone. Speaking of media consumption, because most of the videos and TV shows are shot in 16:9 aspect ratio, you won't get the black bars at the top and bottom while watching most of the videos on this phone. That might sound good, but this phone is not really built for media consumption. The display is small, battery is also not that big, and even the speakers are not the best. There is no issue with occasionally viewing videos here and there and swiping through social media posts or stories, but if you want to binge watch content, then this iPhone SE is not the best device for it. There are big bezels at the top and bottom, which makes this phone look much older than it actually is, but at least they have some purpose. The top bezel houses the front-facing camera and the earpiece speaker, which also doubles as a secondary speaker, and the bottom bezel is where the home button and the Touch ID sensor sits. Touch ID is such a convenient way to unlock this phone. Now since Face ID doesn't work when you are wearing mask, you end up typing your passcode multiple times when you are outside your home. Yes, Apple has introduced Mask ID so the iPhones with Face ID can unlock even if you have a mask on, but one, you need an Apple Watch for it to work, and I don't think everyone using an iPhone owns an Apple Watch. And two, you need to have one of the newer Apple Watches for this to work. Now I have an iPhone and I have the Apple Watch, but this doesn't work for me. This is the first generation Apple Watch, and sadly it doesn't have the tech or software features for the Mask ID to work. Now my watch is something that I don't look to upgrade every 2 to 3 years, so for me, Touch ID is much more convenient. By the way, yes, I still own the first generation Apple Watch that came out in 2015 and I use it every day. I think later they started calling it Series 0, which makes it feel even older than it is. Hit the like button if you guys want to see how this watch is holding up after 6 years. Inside, it packs in the A13 Bionic processor, which was Apple's latest processor when this phone came out. And it is the same processor that came inside iPhone 11 series phones, and those phones started at a good 25,000 rupees above the iPhone SE when it first launched. So we know that this phone is a beast at heart and its performance is top notch and will stay so for years to come. Even now, there is no other phone which packs in a flagship processor as powerful as A13 Bionic in and around this price point. Everything runs just as smoothly as it did when this phone was new. There are no issues running any of the latest games or apps on this phone. If you play a lot of games, you might run into a different issue. Now because the display is so small, all the controls are a bit cramped up and the screen feels a bit cluttered. All the buttons appear small, so you will also have to be more precise and watchful while hitting them. It comes with 3GB of RAM, which might not sound that much, but the way iOS uses RAM is very different, so in your day-to-day usage, 3GB RAM will be enough and you will never feel that the phone is slowing down because of it. You can check out some of the other recent Android phones in this price range, or even last year's flagship phones, and this iPhone SE still scores higher or equal to them in CPU benchmarks, and has more consistent and better performance with higher FPS in GPU benchmarks as well. Now this is a very powerful phone, so you might want to play a lot of games on it, and if you do for a long time, you will notice that the back and the aluminium frame gets slightly warm. Now yes, it gets warm with long gaming sessions, but it doesn't overheat. Heating and overheating are two different things. Every phone heats up a bit after long gaming sessions, and that is normal. But overheating is when your phone shows a warning on the screen that it is too hot, or if the screen dims down when you are using it, or the flash is disabled or something like that. And in all of my usage, I have never experienced overheating on this phone. After the build, size, Touch ID and flagship processor, The next major advantage of this iPhone SE is its operating system. It shipped with iOS 13 out of the box, and right now it is running the latest version of iOS 14 available at the time of uploading this video, and it gets all the same and latest features that are also available on the iPhone 12 series phones. Other than the gesture navigation system, of course, because we have a home button for that. Performance is smooth and everything runs like butter on this phone. Apple is extremely vigilant with software updates, so you can expect the SE to get all the software updates for the next 4 to 5 years if not more. I have this original iPhone SE here which came out in 2016, and right now it is running the same operating system which is on all of the other latest iPhones. And it is also set to get the iOS 15 update when it will be made available in September or October of this year. These are first day updates, which means they are available for you to install on your device right when Apple pushes it out for all of their phones. There is a single 12 megapixel camera on the back. Apple doesn't tell us which sensor it is, but it is not the same as the one used in the iPhone 11. Thanks to the excellent image processing pipeline of the A13 processor, even with an older sensor, images from this phone are really good. They are not the best or as good as the ones from iPhone 11, but I feel these are some of the best images that you will get from a phone in this price range. Most of the average users who are not pixel peepers, which is almost everyone who is outside the world of tech YouTubing, will actually like the results it produces. Colors in its images look good, there are plenty of details, and thanks to Smart HDR, dynamic range is also really good. The key feature of this camera is consistency. Click after click, day in and day out, it will give you good images no matter what. It doesn't have secondary lens, but you can still take portrait shots with its rear and front facing camera as well. But if you are looking for a versatile set of cameras, this one is not for you. It doesn't have wide, telephoto or a macro lens which will let you capture a different perspective. You can however use add-on lenses with it which will let you take wide, telephoto or macro shots. But then those are separate accessories that you will always have to carry around with you, which makes it a bit less convenient. It can shoot optically stabilized 4K 60fps videos, and these videos have amazing dynamic range, so if you want to vlog with it, you can definitely do that. If you know how to use light to your advantage and how to compose your shot, you can take some really good images with this single camera. Yes, the low light performance is really weak as it doesn't even have a night mode. Adding night mode alone would have made this camera perform so much better, but for some reason Apple decided to leave it out. At the front, we get an old 7 megapixel camera which is not even capable of shooting 4K videos. I have a dedicated video showing a lot of image and video samples from this phone. If you want to know more about its cameras, you should definitely check that video out. I also have a video comparing the cameras on this iPhone SE with the iPhone XR and even the iPhone 11. In that video, we saw that the iPhone 11 definitely had better camera, but there was barely any difference between the images from the iPhone SE and the iPhone XR. I will leave a card to both those videos on the top right corner of your screen and also link them in the description section. Everything other than the battery life on this phone is just amazing. The battery backup has been the weakest point of this phone right from the launch. But I knew it was going to be like this because it packs in a mere 1821 mAh battery, which if you're a heavy user will even struggle getting you through the day. I consider myself to be an average or moderate user, and I struggled to get a screen on time of about 5.5 or 6 hours on a single charge with this phone. And on most days, I had to plug in the phone into the charger at least twice. If you play a lot of games on your phone, you might even have to charge it 3 times. Now don't get me wrong, if you're a light to average user, which I think most people considering getting this phone actually are, and you use your phone only for light social media apps, making phone calls here and there, web browsing and watching some YouTube videos, then this phone will definitely get you throughout the day. There have been a few good days where I did not use the phone that much and even ended my days with about 20 to 24% of the battery still remaining. But all in all, I don't consider this phone to have a good battery backup by today's standards. If you are coming from older iPhones, this battery backup might be enough for you, or you might even feel like it gives you better battery backup because of the power efficient processor. So it really depends on your usage. The good thing is, even after charging this phone multiple times a day, the battery health has held up pretty well for the last year. It was steady at 95% until last week or so and has just dropped to 94% recently. A part of a reason for that may be the fact that I charged this phone with MacBook Air's 30W charger. If I would have used the included 5W charger or even the 20W charger or the wireless charger, the battery health would have been a bit higher. So you can blame this part on me. Yeah, another thing, I got this phone last year and back then it came with charger and Apple Lightning earpods in the box. But now it doesn't come with those things. It comes in a slim box like the iPhone 12 series phones, and you only get the phone and the charging cable in the box, nothing else, so keep that in mind. To compensate for this, Apple has reduced the price a bit. So if you have an old iPhone charger hold on to it. Battery is the first part of this phone and there is no way around it. If you want a phone that lasts much longer on a single charge, you will have to either spend extra and get the iPhone XR or the iPhone 11, or go with one of the Android phones in this price range and compromise on the performance, software updates and the build quality. The biggest point that can be made for this 2020 iPhone SE is the value that it provides you for the price. It gives you amazing build quality, the best possible performance for this price, unparalleled software support for years to come with latest software updates available on day one, and it fits right in the palm of your hands. Apple builds this phone in a way that they last for a very long time with minimal issues. So if you are willing to, you can easily use this phone for the next 3 to 4 years without any issues. It will just look a lot older than, because even now it doesn't have the latest design language as some of the Apple's newer products. Now I love this phone, so I'm definitely going to hold on to it for another couple of years at least. But my usage is a bit different. This is actually my in-between phone. I always buy and use the latest iPhone that Apple releases, but I also sell them off before the prices start dropping too much. And this one acts as my main phone from the moment I sell one off and the moment I pick the new one, which sometimes can be months. Despite of all the good things that I told you guys, there are some people for whom this iPhone SE is just not right. If you're a student who plays a lot of games or attends a lot of their classes online due to the pandemic, or if you're someone who likes to binge watch a lot of content on OTT platforms, or if you go out on a lot of camping trips and you need to carry limited things with you, then this phone is not for you. You should probably look at the iPhone 11 or the iPhone XR if you want to save a bit more, or maybe some other Android phones. As good as the performance of this iPhone SE is, and as much value as it gives you for the money that you pay for it, you won't be happy with the display size, battery backup, and the fact that it doesn't look as modern as other phones. As I said before, if you like smaller phones, if you like home button and touch ID over navigation gestures and face ID, if you're holding on to your older iPhone just because there wasn't a newer smaller iPhone, if you don't like the design direction that the newer iPhones have taken, and if you want to hold on to the older design for as long as you want, if you're using your phone like a phone and not like a media consumption device, if you want a most value for money iPhone, if you're looking to buy an iPhone as your secondary phone and don't want to spend a ton of money on it, or maybe your main phone broke and you want an interim phone to get you through until the next iPhones come out, or if you're looking to enter Apple's ecosystem and you don't want to spend too much just to test the waters, in all these cases, this 2020 iPhone SE is the perfect phone for you. You can even try getting a less used one in the second-hand market because that will be an even sweeter deal for you. So you see, there is a market for this phone, especially at its current price. What do you guys think? If you are a 2020 iPhone SE user or if you are planning to get one, let me know your thoughts in the comments. That is it for this video guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.